Welcome back to the homestead. Today we are going to show you a different way to preserve your elderberry. I posted a video yesterday showing how to take the elderberries off the stem. It took me about an hour and a half to do that. We have them here in this bowl. They've been sitting in a strainer to get all the excess liquid off because we did rinse them to make sure we got all of the debris and the bugs out. I even found little teeny tiny snail. So it's all clean, all ready to go. Typically, in years past, I would make what is called an elderberry syrup. This is an example of a jar from last year. I have done several different kinds, including the ones with cinnamon and cloves. This one is just basic elderberry and honey. And I went ahead and processed the honey, even though I know it kills some of the benefits, but it was just to have it handy in case we needed it. Well, now jars are getting really hard to find. And you can make a tea just the same as you can a syrup. So we're going to dehydrate these in our dehydrator, which you can't see here, but we're going to move it, to preserve them. And we'll either put them in a jar or we'll put them in a vacuum seal bag. I haven't decided yet. One thing that we've done differently is we went and found, can you see that okay? Some screen from our local farm store. This is a plastic screen, not metal. It is a 24 by 84 inch roll. It was very reasonably priced, and we traced and cut it to fit the dehydrator. I keep wanting to call it an incubator because that's what I'm used to. The dehydrator. We're also going to use this for the middle of each layer so that the berries don't necessarily roll off through the center, and then once we get them in a nice single layer, we'll have it turned on. So let's get busy. Okay, here we go. Here are the elderberries, all ready to go. I'll bring it a little bit closer. You get as many of the green ones out as you can. You don't want those in there, and as you can see, there's very little, if any, stems. If there is, it's because it got through all our filtration. All right, grab you a spoonful, Lulabelle. We're going to do it in a nice single layer. Sorry for the bumpiness. I just seen a green one. An occasional green one's not going to hurt anything. Just do your best. Like I said, when it comes to elderberries, you're not going to get every single one. It's just not possible. Something like that. Jesse, would you like to help?
Sure.
I thought I felt an elderberry. When they fall out, I chase them down. I want to make sure I keep every one. Now, don't get too big a spoonful. Okay, just a little bit.
Like that.
Oh, see, you're dropping them, so keep it over the bowl. That's fine. Nice single layer. Okay, keep going. We may not need all 4 layers of this dehydrator. I bought this dehydrator about 4 years ago, and I think I maybe paid $50 for it. There's no telling how much they are now. I have no idea. But I have used it for vegetables and fruits and herbs. I actually just pulled parsley off of it before we started this project. It runs quite a bit in the summertime. And for the amount of money that I've paid for it, it's been well worth it. There are more expensive models out there. You guys make sure you don't smush your berries. There's way more expensive models, and if you can afford that, go right on ahead. But this was just something that I needed for a project and bought it, and it's definitely worth it. You may even be able to find some at thrift stores. I've never been that lucky, but who knows? It's a possibility. Keep your eyes peeled if you can't find them in the regular stores. This is the base. It's stained up a little bit from tomato usage. I do use this bottom layer when it comes to herbs. There's a little piece of parsley on right now. But for the elderberries, I do not plan to do so. Okay, hold on, guys. Let's see about... We're going to switch it over to the base. As you can see, the funnel flew right back up. Okay. Go ahead and start level 2. Level 2. I'm going to take one more look to look for anything that shouldn't be in here, and it looks pretty clean. There's a few, very, very few green ones in here, and we're not going to mess with those. I mean, it's minuscule. This does take a lot of time and effort to process elderberry, but the benefits are very much worth it. Okay, now our dehydrator is full. Looks wonderful, doesn't it? I'm not sure exactly how many berries I had. I can look on the bowl and see how many quarts it is. But anyway, here it is. We ended up filling up all 4 trays. This is your lid. This is how we clamp down the lid. And as I pointed to a little bit earlier during time lapse, this is a Nesco. We got this from our local farm store. It drops in. It kind of locks. If you turn it, it's firm. Doesn't go anywhere. We're going to plug this in. I'm going to check it hour by hour because I'm not exactly sure how long it will take to fully dry them. And then we will get right back with you. Be quick for you, not so quick for us. Okay, here we go. See you in a while. We finally got the elderberries dried in the dehydrator. It took about probably a good 8 hours to get them dry enough to put in jars. This was in the Nesco. This is a cheaper dehydrator. If you've got a big, more expensive one, maybe a little bit less time. We have some used rings and lids for jars and a couple older jars here. I don't know exactly how many we're going to need, but I grabbed 2. We're going to pop this open. Oh, what he says. Alrighty. Now, we're going, what?
Those look like balls of bacon.
Balls of bacon. Well, that's different. Okay. We're going to try something. I'll zoom in a little bit closer so you can see what a disaster this is or how well it works. Either way. Okay, here's what they look like. Hopefully you can see this okay. Nice and dry. Be good for tea. What we're going to try to do, it's just a total experiment that I came up with, so that'll tell you if it's going to work or not. We're going to attempt to place this over the funnel. I'm going to hold it there. Miss Petunia, can you grab like one end of it? And we're going to try to get it down through the funnel into the jar without spilling them everywhere. I have no clue if this will work. We will see.
One already spilled in another jar.
It's okay. Scoop it up, like curve it.
I'm trying.
There you go. If we have a few get loose, we can deal with those. We'll just put them back over in the... I hear it. There it goes. I lost one through my hand. I felt it. Okay. That's pretty good. There's a few left in here that are stuck. One just hit the floor. No, they're so precious. So I'm going to kind of take my finger, break it down. Once we figure this out, it won't take very long. It's just we're being very careful. A lot of work goes into these berries. You sweat when you pick them. You sit when you're stemming them. It took 8 hours to dry them. We don't want to lose a single one. We're going to need these for this winter. So instead of taking syrup, which we do have, we have an alternative where we can just make our tea. Whoop, I felt one move. I see why it's not centered on the funnel no more. There it is. Anyway, we can make our tea, put our honey in it, cinnamon, cloves, lemon juice. For those of you that use the whiskey cough syrups, you could put whiskey with it. And you can make it right there on the spot. And it's not taking up too many jars as a syrup would. There it is clean. Well, this is going to be fun. I think I'm going to take it over here and try it. There's a few left that didn't make it. We're just going to tap it. All right. Now, let's do the next tray. We'll time lapse it so it doesn't drive you too crazy. But that's how much we got out of one tray. So chances are we're probably only going to get a quart. And this jar's a little stained, but it's okay. So it took us a little bit, but we decided to make it a little bit easier for ourselves. we're going to go ahead and kind of move our hands around because some of them were sticking. And try to bring it more towards the center. It makes it easier on us as far as finding the screen and pouring them out. So that's what we're doing with this round. Just going to kind of move them around and get them unstuck. There was a few stuck. There's still a little stem right there. We'll get him out. And then the few little bit of scragglers that we have, or stragglers, whoop, Mr. Jesse Boy is in charge of getting for us. We're moving them away from the edge, and that helped a lot on that third layer. So they're a little bit cumbersome, but not too bad. All right, Lulu, here we go. Try to keep it over the funnel too. We noticed it moves and slides around and gets out away from the funnel. We don't want that. So we need to find a way to keep our funnel supported, don't we? All right, let's pick her up and go. Kind of a satisfying sound.
Sounds like coins.
Sounds like coins. Anyway, that works a lot better. So the first two, we just tried picking them up and pouring without preparation. And the second two, we moved them around and focused them more towards the center, away from the edges, and we were able to pick up the screen a little bit easier.
There's still some elderberries.
There's still some. Let's look for any loose ones. There's a few on the table. And there's a few that get stuck right here in the center, and I just tapped it, and they fell through. And that worked well. There's one there. We certainly want to get every one that we can.
Every one?
Every single berry. And then we have a few right here. I think that'll be Jesse Boy's job. Pick them up, buddy, and put them in the jar, please. Try not to lose any. Alright. So, we got almost a quart for, I don't know, a half gallon or so of berries. So it shrunk down quite a bit. We definitely need to pick some more because this is not going to be enough for the winter. But knowing the cost of dehydrated elderberries, and last year we couldn't even find them. They were nowhere. So something to definitely consider whenever you're thinking of doing it yourself. It takes a little bit of time. You figure you've got a half hour to an hour of picking, depending on how many you have in the bush. You've got an hour and a half it took me to destem these. You have 8 hours to dehydrate it. And then it didn't take long to put it in the jar, 10, 15 minutes tops. So with all that time, say close to 11 hours, you're going to have 1 quart of dehydrated elderberries. For 1 quart of elderberry, you have about 10 to 11 hours worth of work. I looked up how much 1 pound of elderberry dehydrated organic berries would be on Amazon, and the first one that popped up was $25. So I think it'd definitely be worth it, especially whenever you have issues with supply. Did I cover everything? We think so. But anyway, this is about what we've got. Be good for this winter. So whether you do a tea with your elderberry, which will be the first year for us doing that, or you do a syrup with your elderberry, or even if you just use it to make good old-fashioned jelly, it's definitely worth the effort. So what do you think? Are we done? We're done. Thank you all for joining us today, and thank you for watching. Do what you can right where you are.
Psalms 34 verse 8, oh taste and see that the Lord is good, blessed is the man that trusteth in him.
Thanks for watching.
See you later.
You gonna say it? No. Just gonna be a blooper right off the bat. Welcome back to the homestead. This is part 2 of how we're going to preserve our elderberries for the year. And I forgot something. Hold on. I feel a blooper in the making. Mom? Hi everybody. Thanks for joining us. We hope you having a we hope you It always takes a couple tries. We're okay. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. I hope you're having a great day on the homestead. And these do too. These two do. Go ahead, Jessie. What do you say? I thought she was going to say something.
Never mind.
Welcome back to the homestead. We're glad you're here with us. Thanks for joining us. Today, we finally got the elderberry dehydrated, and now we're going to place them in the jars. So we're capping off this part. Blah, blah. Oh my gosh! Help me, Jesus.